I think it's very hard to beat the market consistently. I think it's a very tough profession. I'm sure there are people who can do it, but I don't know if it's easy to predict who those people are. So, look, I think it's something that can be done, but I just think it's a tough game. I mean, what we do as private investors is a little different, right? Because not everybody is in a position to buy shares, right?
Yeah, you're not available to you. You don't even know the company.
Access is limited and information is limited. And in exchange for that sort of preferential access that we get, we actually have to do work.
A lot of work.
When you're a public investor in a company, Disney or whatever, you don't do any work. You're not involved at all. We do a lot of work for the companies, and that's why they choose us. And so it's not, you're not competing against the whole world. I think the public markets are just so competitive.
Are you tempted, though, looking at these prices? And because I was looking at a company that was trading at 50 times revenue last year. They're raising again. They doubled their revenue. So now they're at 20, 25 times revenue. They're raising at last year's valuation. And then I looked at the public market comps, and they're trading at 6 times. So now I'm like, wait a second. Obviously, the growth rates are a little different.
You got to look at the growth rate. You got to look at the growth rate.
The growth rate was the growth rate in this example was 3 times greater than the public market comps. So how would you assess that then?
Well, what we're seeing right now is that pretty good SaaS companies that are growing, maybe on a trailing basis, they grew 3x and, prospectively they're growing, call it 2.5x. They're trading right now, not trading, but basically deals are getting done at 20 times ARR, 20-ish.
Which ARR? This year's? Current run rate?
Yeah, the current ARR.
Okay, you're not getting that bonus, here's your projected next year, we're going to give it based on that. This is current.
No. Current ARR is about 20, 22, 23 times ARR.
Down from what last year? 100?
Oh, it was 100 times was the rule of thumb.
Yeah.
So now there are some where deals are getting done in the high 20s, I'd say, or even 30, if you believe that by the end of the year it'll be more like 20. So, but I think the new levels are landing at 20-something times ARR. Yeah. Now, why does that make sense relative to the public SaaS companies? Well, like you said, the SaaS index is trading at roughly 6 times, but that's only 20% average growth.
Right.
And so, if you're growing 3x,
about 10 times the growth, right?
Right. And the high growth SaaS companies are trading at 7 times. That's for a 40% grower. We've talked about this before. So, listen, if you're tripling year over year and you pay 20 times, that'll be a 7 times next year. But if you're growing 2.5, 3x next year, that's way faster. So I think there's actually an arbitrage there. I mean, this is why we like doing private SaaS investing right now.